Welcome to Booking the Wrestler number 2 of Mark Henry, the silverback. I'm calling him the silverback because, let's be honest, the guy's as strong as literally a gorilla. Not being disrespectful, the guy is stronger than many of the most strongest men in the world. He still holds the world record of the most heaviest lifts the world has ever known. And that's true. So he's at least as strong as a full-size 600-pound gorilla. That's not a joke. That's fact. So this is how he's brought back because of his weightlifting records. And this is how it's going to happen. After about 4 months of this situation, Mark finally comes back to WWE. And he's saying, you want to start messing with me? Messing with me about my records? Coming to harass me in my home? I'm coming here. And let's do our challenges. So Mark Henry's not getting back in the ring. He doesn't do any promos. Nothing. The only time you see him is when there is any type of weightlifting challenges. Pulling trucks, pulling cars, lifting weights. That's it. That's how he got started. That's how I'm bringing him back. He doesn't do any promos. He doesn't do none of that. Once he finishes the lift, he goes home. He literally, after he does the lift and everyone wants to hear him speak, he looks at everybody and just walks away, goes to his car, and he drives away. That makes more interest than just him talking, because we see Mark Henry talk. He can talk great. But the problem that WWE has is to oversaturate with talking. And that's the reason why in my booking the wrestlers, I try to limit the amount of talking for all of the people I've been booking, except for a few exceptions. The booking has to be limited talking to make us more interested. Eventually, Biggie Langston tries to do the world record lift, which I think is 1,100 pounds weight, deadlift. I'm not exactly sure about the exact weight, but let's say it's about 1,100 pounds. And he tries to lift that at SummerSlam. This is a legitimate world record lift. This isn't going to be a joke. Mark Henry's going to be there, and so is Biggie Langston, to actually try to do a full-blown lift. I could do this at WrestleMania, but I thought it'd be better to do this at SummerSlam, at the peak of the summer. And this will be in a nice open stadium where there isn't that much sun. Well, let's say it's in a basketball stadium. I think it'll be better than a football stadium. But essentially speaking is this. Biggie Langston fails at doing the lift. But he tries. And there's Guinness, literally Guinness Book of World Records is there. And Mark Henry does a lift, and he matches his lift. Then he asks more weight. Puts on the weight, lifts again. He breaks his freaking world record that has been set in the Olympics and outside the Olympics. He goes to 1,300 pounds instead of just 1,100. Stands up, going like this. Guinness Book of World Records said, you did it, do one more time to prove it. Does it again, like he did with the first lift. Keep matching his record. He's now broken his original record. He's lifted 1,300 pounds. More than any human in the world. He stands up, proud, holding his hands up, and Biggie Langston clocks him behind the head and starts beating the crap out of him. And that's how he gets started back in the WWE. And the first person he faces is Biggie Langston. Biggie Langston's his first challenger because he's the one that brought him in and started fighting with him. And instead of having matches, they just brawl. These guys just basically brawl, but not like a regular brawl. They don't just beat each other up. They're taking heavy objects that would normally hurt someone badly, and they're throwing at each other, and everyone's terrified that they're going to get hit. I'm going to make these guys use real strength to throw heavy objects at each other, not to hurt each other, but just to make damage, to actually break things. Throwing things around like equipment that's like old and doesn't work anymore. Heavy 90 to 100 pound equipment, they just throwing it at each other to try and cause nothing but havoc. And then they finally meet each other at Hell in a Cell. After several months of fighting each other and just throwing heavy equipment at each other, they finally get into Hell in a Cell. Neither one of them have ever been in Hell in a Cell as far as I know. So to make it even more profound that these guys are going to do something totally different. And the way this goes in Hell in a Cell, Mark Henry's so angry that he wants to get his hands on Biggie Langston. The way Biggie got it planned, they both go in the cell, but he has Xavier Woods come get the key from the ref, opens the door, and Biggie jumps out and locks it and put a double heavy chain on it. So he's literally locked up in there. And they're not raising it because Kofi Kingston is currently keeping the cage from being lifted. You know what Mark Henry does? He's so angry at this moment, he grabs the damn thing and rips the damn chain down and goes to whip the butt of Xavier Woods and Biggie Langston, and he's the one on top. This is how we'll bring him back in his first real feud. And this is the end of this part 2. The last one is having him win the World Heavyweight Championship. So I hope you enjoyed this book in wrestling. Give me a comment below. Watch for the next one. Have a good day and have a good night. Peace out!